Fofo in the beautiful city of Sherman Oaks, California, with a 98 success rate, one of the finest law firms in the state of California. All right, so let's jump to the show, bring in the crew. We got a lot to talk about, but first let's do some introductions. Join us again, as they call her on MUTV, the chairperson of the Los Angeles group, Amani, my sis. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was it.
That was
good.
The body gets to the point. That's it. All right. And my man Mikey, representing the South. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? Here comes some fuckery.
What's going on, man? Hey, I just want to put some thoughts with the people that's going through the hurricane down there in the Caribbean. Hey, Cheese, you know what I'm saying? Hold your head, man. You know what I'm saying? Hunker down, brother. You know, and it's supposed to be a category 5. So just hoping everybody can get through that. No fuckery today.
Yeah. Big blessings to the whole East Coast, Caribbean, all them type things. My man representing Pittsburgh United. Sean, what's going on? How you feeling today, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Enjoying the new job. Back out in the field today, so getting some people signed up, so I'm enjoying it.
Feel it. And in the studio with me, once again, Jeremy Sanchez.
What up?
How you feeling?
Feeling good. Shout out to the United States national team. His golden era that went out just like the worst Mexican national side that has shown out. So it looks like both of them got knocked out. Way to go. Golden era for the U.S. men's team.
Let's go.
There.
How did Canada go through, but USA didn't?
I feel like that referee was on something was wrong, man. That referee was tricky.
But let's be real. Even if he did not give that goal, U.S. still needed a score for them to move on. So they did not do enough.
Sometimes in a match you can give a team momentum. You can give them calls at the right time. You cannot give a advantage at the right time, and that has effect on the game. And I think there was 2 moments the referee took away the advantage, and I think they were not saying they were going to go score, but they were on attack, and I didn't think that was right.
Excuses.
So, a lot of stuff going on in these tournaments. Are we going to talk about Jude? Let me go into Jude.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm going to put my hand up, first of all. Monty, first of all, would you like to speak on the U.S. national team? I know you had some posts.
What can I say? When you put up with, mediocre management, you're going to end up with mediocre results, point blank. So, and the U.S. Federation is not willing to make a change, so you're just going to have to live with it. That's it.
I think that's fair. I think definitely the coach is under the bubble. The U.S., especially for CONCACAF, the USA should be doing a lot more. Anybody else would like to chime in on the USA men's national team? All right.
I'd just like to look at this instead, baby. I'd just like to look at that instead.
I know I was one of the people who's questioning if this guy was world class.
Oh. Wow, you came straight out with it.
No. I've stopped that.
I can't believe you said that with the straight face.
I know.
Casey.
I have stopped that. I have stopped that weeks ago. I am admitting he is world class. But it's just amazing how this kid, I'm speaking about Jude Bellingham, he has something in him, where he can find, he comes around at the right moment to do something incredible.
Kid's a baller. Mm-hmm. He gets it.
Goal of the tournament.
It is looking like that so far. I mean,
well, just how important it was in the 25th minute. That's and he's also on, with that goal, on track to win the Ballon d'Or this year. Don't give me Mbappe crap, because that guy can't even score a goal in the Euros.
Wow. Mbappe. I don't want to go into that subject. I don't want to go into that because that draws controversy too.
We don't want to get into the comparisons.
I said I agreed with Sean last episode. I don't think Mbappe is world class. I think he's a little overrated.
There we go. Now we're there. I think he's. I'm about to get killed for this.
This is crazy. That's crazy. A man who won the World Cup at 21 with 7 goals in the World Cup is overrated.
How many has he got this year?
In the World Cup?
No, in the Euros.
1. How many does he have this season?
What was that?
43.
What
he had
was
50 last season.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Again,
he had 8 in the Champions League. He had the most in the Champions League for the last 2 years.
Get him, Mike. Get him.
Stop.
Does it come out to wins though?
Do you know who had really good goals? Wayne Rooney. Do you know who couldn't score a goal in the championship? Wayne Rooney. He had 1 World Cup goal, baby.
I feel like Mbappe is definitely an athletical phenomenon. I think he reminds me of, this is the hot take.
Oh man.
He reminds me a lot of Rashford, where I want him to develop that mental side of the game, that the more game awareness. I think that's something he and Rashford can do a lot better. You just don't have to be speed and try and power past people and blow past people. At some point, you got to put some, savviness to your game, some type of. Jeremy, you're looking at me like I'm insane.
I mean, I think that's the Manchester United fan.
He's just a Manchester. He's just a United fan. That's all. Boy, everybody that saw this clip was like, these 2 guys are nuts. What's wrong with them? These are the people you have on your show. I said, man, just God bless them. Just forgive them. They'll be all right.
Amani, am I messing up the show's credibility by saying that I feel like
you made it worse?
Okay, remove the Rashford part of it. I just think he can work on that part of his game a little bit more. Is that fair?
This isn't the Mbappe show. Next topic.
All right. I feel like I'm destroying the show's credibility. Let's on to Manchester United. First of all, I think the hot news right now is our new management group, our new structure. I believe there's some surprises. With all the names that we have seen on paper right now, I'm going to ask everybody, how do you feel about what Ineos has done? Jeremy, go first.
I think it's good. I mean, finally got the structure going, got the guys in place. Now you're starting to see the noise coming out. Guys we're trying to sign. It's just, we got to just start signing guys. And what's the guy we're getting? DeLit, possibly getting him. Xerxes, right? So it's all positive, man. Finally, we got a respectable front office that knows what they're doing and they know football.
Let me run it down to everybody so you can get the visual. You have top of the table, you have Sir Jim. Under him is John Claude. Then David Brailsford. Then you have Omar. Then you have Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth underneath him. And then there's this name that we all just heard for the first time, I think yesterday, Christopher Vivale. Vivale. And then there's Eric Ten Hag and some surprise names. The 2 coaches. We have Van der Sar. And what's that?
Rene Hockey.
Rene Hockey. Big Mike, how do you feel about what Ineos has done? Sorry, Sean. If you want to jump in, go ahead.
Big Mike, you go.
They haven't done anything yet but hire people. So when they start doing things, I will once they start signing players. And I saw that there's some construction going on at Old Trafford. So I saw that. But I got to see some more. I'm not really a fan of that. They kind of pissed me off with what they're doing to the women's team, or his remarks towards the women's team that kind of pissed me off, being that how successful they've been. I got a daughter, man. You know what I'm saying? She watches them, so she wants to play football. So I want to push that as much as I can, and not to make it about me, but there's other little girls that care about that team. You know what I'm saying? So for him to poo-poo that team after they've done what they've done in such a short time is crazy. So they have to start doing actual things for me to come around.
Amani, jump in your remarks.
There's no interpreting what Sir Jim said, because you see the response from Mary Earps in her goodbye
I read that
message, and even from what's her name, they all say the same thing. The club is going in a direction that doesn't fit with what they want, and so it's been communicated in more detail to these women, more than the sound bites we got off his interview was Bloomsburg, was it? Bloomberg, yeah. So yeah, it's very, very disappointing. I mean, I've gone to Manchester to watch the women's team. I have a daughter too who loves football and wants to play football, and it's very, very disappointing, especially when they've been this successful. But hey, I mean, I find it so hard to believe that there wasn't room for both teams to practice at the training field. I mean, come on, you can do a split schedule, something, but to build this thing, say it's for the women, and then immediately say, no, y'all in the outhouse because the men are coming in. That's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Sean, you.
Yeah, I agree. What they're doing to the women's team, especially Mary Earps, who's been such a long servant for them, for her to come out and say that they're going in the wrong direction and that she's at a late stage of her career and she can't stay, is a big disappointment. But through Ineos, other than that, they've just built a backroom staff that I'm going to say is probably the best backroom staff in the UK right now.
Thank you, Sean. I mean, I understand what everybody's complaints are right now, and the women's thing is. I can't believe that. When I saw Sir Jim talk about it, but I'm saying the assembly, the people that we've put together. How do you feel? I mean, we've never had this at Manchester United, so
we haven't had this since David Gill left with Sir Alex Ferguson. Like a competent backroom staff. And to go to Mikey's point a little bit, I'm going to go out and call it here. By the end of next week, we have the Lit and Ziski on as our Man United players. I think they're going to move fast as of right now. I think by the end of next week, they have both of those players signed.
Speaking on those signings that you said,
and if they don't, it'll be as soon as the Dutch go out.
Yeah, that's what the rumor is. About especially, I mean, once the Dutch got out, everybody said the deals are on the table. They're ready to go. Player agreements. The clubs have talked. Everything is there. This needs to be presented, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well, you got to remember that it's a FIFA thing that no one's allowed to talk to the players like this other than the agent.
Right.
So they can't sign during the Euros anyway. They literally can't do it. So, obviously De Ligt has been clearly, and Zersky have both been talking to Ten Hag over the phone. He's obviously got encouragement. De Ligt, I'm only a little bit worried about De Ligt, but at the end of the day, that guy's going to come out right next to the Butcher and be able to play Ten Hag football instantly. And that's something that's refreshing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Speaking on De Ligt that you just mentioned, Sean, good point. My boy Casey has something to say about that, right? Weren't we just discussing that earlier?
Well, I feel there's some concerns.
How old is his injury record? Yeah.
How old is De Ligt?
He's 24.
24.
He's been at Ajax, and I know that's where he started.
Yes.
He's been at Juve.
Yeah.
And he's been at Bayern.
Yeah.
Juve and Bayern have both been okay with saying peace.
No.
But
Juve
won. No,
you're writing a petition to get him to stay. The people there.
I'm going to back you on that, but that's the fans.
Yeah,
the club you can go. So I was going to say, the fans are putting out a petition to keep him. Is there something behind the scenes about De Ligt that, and I know we can't read into everything. What is it about him where the upper management? Because it seems like the supporters seem to dig him. I'm just pulling out red flags.
No, I get you. But is it the upper management or is it the actual manager that wants this? Because when people talk about his injury list, I've got it in front of me. The most games he's ever had out was in 2021 for Juve. He had 17 games out with a shoulder injury. And the next is a inner knee ligament tear in 2023. And he came back from that injury in 9 games. 9 games for a ligament tear. So what's this talking about? He's injury prone. Other than that, the most games he's had out is 5. So I'm not understanding where this injury prone is coming from.
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, he's been out 5 games, but how often is he out for minor things? 5 games, 4 games. You know what I'm saying? How often?
Yeah. So in 2020, he was out for Juve. He was out for 3 games, just 2 games, 3 games, and 2 games. 2021, he was out for the 17 games with a shoulder injury, and then he had coronavirus, so that we ain't even going to call that an injury. And then 2023, he was out for a maximum of 4 games, and then 2023-24, he was out for a maximum of 15 games, both with inner knee ligament problems.
Well, compared to our center backs, he's durable.
Yeah.
That's not the problem.
I mean,
And has he been playing in the wrong way?
To be fair, before Martinez got there, he had only missed like 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
He had missed like 7 games in his whole career, like, for Argentina and all the clubs he's played for. And, not until just last year, he missed half the season. So that's all. You can have a guy that's a brick wall, but then get to United and their crazy medical staff situation. Hey, you never know. So
I'm not really going to go on the medical stuff with Martinez. At the end of the day, he really broke his foot. So obviously that's not the injury. The next one was a freak accident where he twisted his knee going in for a ball. That's not the medical staff. The last one, muscle tear, yes, I can see that. But the main injuries he's had is a broken metatarsal and a twisted knee. There's nothing the medical staff can do about that. That's due to his reckless play, which we all love, but it's not really a major injury. He broke his metatarsal. Beckham did it, came back the next season and played every single game. So,
yeah, I kind of just with the injury situation, I just wait it out and see. I haven't heard much of injury on De Ligt's side, much mumble about that. So,
and I don't know. Most fans don't know. Well, what I've read, people are not talking about his injury situation. They're just trying to say, is there something about him that we're not seeing? But then, if you look at everything, he's working. The prices come down to we might get him under 40.
Yeah,
and his wages are going to drop to 200 a week.
Yeah,
they're going to drop it down to that. So everything is working out. It's going to be a 5-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting him in the prime peak of his career. I mean, he's going to be 20. We'll have him till he's at least 28, 29.
29, yeah.
So you can't complain. We can't complain. Our center back choices right now are Maguire, and I love him. And my
Lindelof.
guy, Victor Lindelof and Evans.
Yeah.
So having someone who's young coming to the prime, it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, you got, and then like you said, if everyone wants to jump in here, please jump in. I know I might be speaking too much, but at the end of the day, you got Harry Maguire sitting right behind him. So if he does get injured, so we obviously need maybe a centre back on the left side, but I just don't know what all the freaking. At the end of the day, he left Juve not because he wanted to; he was forced to. They had to sell him. They needed the money.
They went to
okay. So I can understand the buy-in aspect of why is he leaving, but I don't understand the Juve. He didn't want to leave Juve and he was forced to leave Juve.
And Bayern's one of those clubs that you want to trust and say, they have a good opinion, or when they understand a player, they make great choices. And I think that's might be the main thing that's bothering me.
I don't trust him.
You don't trust Bayern?
I'm going to give you one name, Mane Osane. Really? They bought him from Liverpool, amazing player at Liverpool. I think he was catalyst in that team. And he goes to Bayern and is shockingly shite and gets fired. So, do we trust him?
Facts. On Twitter, it says we're still trying to sign Mr. Brainworth from Everton at 70.
Oof.
Can you believe that's still a possibility?
No, I haven't heard that. I've heard
here.
it go off the table a few times.
Yeah. Now the focus is more on De Ligt.
Yeah.
De Ligt,
De Ligt and Xerxes and Ugarte. Those are the 3 guys right now that this focused on. And all I'm seeing is for 3 of them is 110, 150, something like that.
All I know is we need to bring back Uruguay. We need to bring back Pellistri. He's been tearing it up in the Euros, man. We could use him. We can use that. He was bossing USA last night. The entire game. I mean, that ain't saying much. It's the USA. But he's been doing it the whole tournament. And the guy, I just think he needs a real chance before we just write him off. He needs a real chance. He hasn't gotten it under Ten Hag.
It's baffling though that he can't seem to get a chance under Ten Hag. You got to ask yourself, what are we not seeing when he's back with United?
Well, Ahmad didn't get a chance neither, and look what he did. Ahmad hardly gets a sniff.
Yeah.
Would we all agree from the samples we've seen when you see Pellistri and you see Anthony, you're like, why is Anthony even getting a boot?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing.
Well, Anthony's his boy. Anthony's his boy. He's gonna back his boy, and he paid 100 or 89 or whatever the hell million for his boy. So he's not gonna, just like how Ali wasn't gonna let. He was gonna play Harry Maguire through all of it, even though he had to, but he was like, you're not gonna let that much money sit on the bench. You're just not. That's your boy. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like Pellistri and Ahmad have done way more. At least Ahmad have done way more than Anthony. I don't understand.
Ollie was a little justified in playing, Harry Maguire, because at the end of the day, we saw what he was like this year before he got injured. At some points, he was the best player of the season.
When he was on his worst, it was under Ollie. It was the end is starting to be the end of Ollie. And when Harry Maguire was at his worst, I think most hated. And he played him every game. And I was just like, hey, I respect that. It's not until Ten Hag that he started to revitalize his career a little bit with some good performances and not being a bonehead on the ball.
Oh, he's still a bonehead on the ball.
Who's
not as much as before.
Yeah, I felt looking at Pellistri, he looked physically well. He looked physically together.
But to go back to your point there, though, and Amani, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Every time he goes out on loan, he's shit.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting sent back. So what? Like, I get that we're seeing it for Uruguay, but he's not doing it when he goes out on loan. He keeps getting sent back from his loans.
Right.
So is he bad or is he not the priority there? Because he's also like coming in to be second fiddle, or is he coming in to be the main guy? He's a lone guy. He's a kid. How much time is he really getting at these other clubs to where they're like, all right, yeah, cool. We want this guy. This is going to be the guy. Or do they already have their guy in mind and this is just some filler? How much of it is that at every loan spell he's been at? Because we've watched Ahmad tear it up at Sunderland. Sunderland want him, but he can't get a sniff in this team. And then he's come on and been kind of weird sometimes. So what do we? I think he just needs the games, or at least be in the team. At least I think there's a player there, but I might be reaching. I could be wrong. Been wrong before. Shit.
I feel like Erik ten Hag was under a lot of pressure, and he found himself playing guys that he knew, he trusted, and he was just in that situation. Pellistri, Ahmad, and we all felt like these are guys who deserve more time. He, in the back of his mind, has this thing where he was just like, I can't waste time to let these guys get going, even though they did produce. And a lot of these decisions Erik ten Hag was under. He had injuries, he had players with off-field issues, he had Sancho issues. I just felt like he was just trying to play guys that he knew. Yeah. And you can't fault him because he really didn't have any support. And everything right now, I think, like if Pellistri comes back, I think he should get a chance. Ahmad needs a chance. Mikey. I don't even know why Anthony should even be on our team anymore.
No, but I do have Pellistri's stats here. 2021, he was at Alves. He played 12 games, scored 0 goals. 21 to 22, who's at the same club, played 21 games, 0 goals. 24 at Granada, played 15 games, 2 goals. So
I feel like he got a little bit of woot in him, though. Like he's in the position, but he don't put it in the net, because even in the game against USA, he had a one in front of the goalie and he kicked it right to the goalie.
Yeah, and for Uruguay, he's played in the game 23 games for Uruguay since 2022. He's only scored 2 goals. So that's probably why.
Okay,
those stats are worse than Anthony's.
Yeah, he's a player that looks like he's doing a lot, but the stats speak for themselves. So maybe that's what Ten Hag is seeing.
Yeah, he got a little wood in him.
Yeah, remember how like a
guy that's
shit,
more like
Wood got every game. Wood played every damn game. At least he got a chance in the team to be bad.
Yeah, facts on that. Let's talk about next week, July 8th. Camp will be starting, preseason camp. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of names that are still on this roster. There's a lot of names who have the right to show up next week.
I got the quote there, boys.
Oh, yeah.
It was Sam Smith at the Express in the UK says Man United banned Duo from preseason training. Sancho
heavy, though.
Sancho and Mason Greenwood have been told to stay away from training camp.
Good.
Oh, hold on. Let me read some comments here. Cheese says, what's good? He says, the greatest football club in the world. Sam says, Amani with the pen, serious business. Pelistri, Sanjeev said, Pelistri is better than Dan James. That's fair. I think so. I think he is too. But anyway.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And
what
Poor Sanjeev.
July 8th, Casemiro can show up. Victor Lindelof can show up.
I'm okay
Donnie
with that.
He can show up. I'm just telling you, people are under contract, people.
Mm-hmm.
July 8th, and we haven't gotten anybody out. Should we be concerned? Or tell me, how do you feel about going into July 8th?
I'm not concerned at all. The backroom staff is together for the first time. Not Ahmed, whatever his name is, the CEO, hasn't even started until for another 2 weeks.
Omar?
I'm not concerned. Yeah, I'm not concerned. Going to the training ground, fine. Going on tour, keep out. If you're not supposed to be here next year, stay away from the tour.
Amani. I mean, just think about the names that can show up.
I mean, if you're, under contract, you show up. You show up until they tell you not to.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it? Have you ever heard anything like this before? I don't know. Where they tell the players you're not welcome. I mean, and we have every right to say that, I guess. Can the players say no? I want to show up, John.
Yeah, why
hey,
not?
you've had players turn away, go train with a youth team, and go train on your own, depending on things. So yeah, I mean, they're still part of your club, but they don't have to be with the first team, depending on whatever the circumstances are.
Yeah, they're still part. They can still be a part of the club, but moving forward is a project moving along with them or without them. So at this point, that project's not going along with them.
Go ahead, Big Mike. You're the legal counsel.
Are those checks being cleared?
Yes.
Then I'll stay away as long as you're paying. I'll stay away. $100,000 a week. Sure. I don't have to kick a ball. I'll stay away. What the hell does that mean? Sancho's getting paid in the shade. You don't care about no stay away. And he lifted his stock by leaving, so he's gonna get a move. So the stay away is fine. We're still paying these clowns.
Yeah,
problem is no one can afford it.
That just brought me up a good point, Mikey. They I think the Lakers paid Luol Deng not to come. My bad, bringing up the Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? After he went through it first.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I know
I'm more worried about Sancho leaving than I am Greenwood.
I was going to bring that up. I mean, Dortmund's playing a funny game, don't you think, Sean?
Yeah, and I would play it too, considering what they made us pay for him. Screw you. 2 years they played this shit with us. It's about time that we got some backroom stuff that can play that shit with another team.
Facts.
Yeah, but our ownership seems to be a group that says, this is the price. If you're not going to take it, we're going to hold out. I mean, look at Dan Ashworth. They wanted 20 or 10. We ended up paying 2, but they held out. It worked out in our favor. Is there a point where, and I'm not saying this could be drastic, where Sancho is just hanging around a little bit too long, where there's going to be some things where we got to make a choice, like either it's with the team or we're just going to send him down back with the academy again? Because you think that you can see that happening to Monty?
To play with the academy? No, I think he's too good of a player, and there's some value in him. They'll come to a agreement somewhere somehow. I mean, he might end up just going on a loan somewhere if we can't sell him outright. I know that's not what they want to do, but they're not just going to let him sit on the bench and rot. He's still a decent player.
Yeah, Sean made some good points. We do have a good backroom staff, and he could end up playing for, I don't know, Leeds, something like that.
He's not going to Leeds.
You should have gave him to Leeds.
I'm just saying,
he should go to City. If he's mad at us, he should just go to City.
Nah,
Pep don't want him.
City get rid of him.
Pep got rid of him a long time ago.
Pep did not want him.
He goes somewhere where someone wants him.
Well, do you know why
for real?
Pep didn't want him for the same reason as Ten Hag didn't want him?
I just think the staff will cross that bridge once they get there. They got bigger stuff to just handle at this moment. I mean, that is a big thing, right? But
it goes back to our open comments. it's good that we have a backroom staff where Sean said, we feel confident that they will get something done.
Do you want to know the difference between this year and the last 6-7 years? Have you noticed that we're actually negotiating for 2 players at the same time?
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. There's actually 3 deals where they said everybody's okay with it. We're just waiting for the Euros and the Copa to be done, and these things are going to happen because apparently we don't talk about this guy enough. But Uruguayan holding mid, he's ready to come. He said, "I'm with it."
DeLit also said
he's with it, and the Joshua Zirkzee thing, I don't know. It's all because AC Milan doesn't want to pay their agent fees. We said we'll pay it because we can afford it. So, damn, how broke is AC Milan?
Oh,
but anyway, I should talk.
Broke.
Fabrizio seems to think it's going to happen. So
everybody feels like it's going to happen. That deals are on the table. Just got to wait for these tournaments to be done. And then you said, Sean, that's great. That's actually 3 deals on the table, ready to go.
And one of the best things that I actually and this goes back to the start of how we were talking about Ineos is remember last year we wanted a player and we would wait around till the end of the goddamn the
last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks to sign a player. Like we went in for the Everton player. They said no. Okay, fine, we'll move on. Do you notice how we actually have a list of freaking players? All right, we can't get him. We'll have him instead. If we can't get him, we'll get him. For the first time, we actually have a backroom staff and know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
It's crazy. We caught up with modern football. And I don't know how we survived this long. I mean, we wrote big checks, y'all. Y'all know it. We wrote some crazy checks. I mean, Casemiro's eating good. Sancho eating good. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. And then this guy we just hired, the Christopher guy who just left Chelsea, they said he can find talent. So we got so much going on. It's an exciting time in Manchester. But we deserve this.
What's our worst finish in the last, what is it? 14, 13 years? 10 years now? 11 years? What's our worst? 8th?
Yeah.
7th? Yeah, it's the worst ever we finished in the Premier League.
Yeah.
During the Fergie area, we didn't finish below 3rd.
Well, in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's this year. 8th.
Season just passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which some clubs would beg for.
And an FA Cup.
We're not supposed to be most clubs.
No, you're right.
Yeah, we're Man United, brother.
You're right.
What's going on?
That mentality has to be top.
Yeah.
But that's what the Woodwards did to us. It's not my fault that I've said, oh, God, I just want us to be top 4 now.
We are not Arsenal. We are not them.
Exactly.
The content
they're ahead of us.
That's also a bad thing.
I'm so glad, though. It's no, all jokes aside, it's refreshing that there's people really who want to be here. I mean, if you see these people's resumes, these are good people. And look at our backup coaches. They left head coaching positions to come be with us. You know, Van Nistelrooy could have went to Burnley and been the boss. He said, "No, I'll go be the number 2 for United." So we're getting.
Who's looking for the Van Nistelrooy teaching Rasmus how to bang a goal in? Because I fucking the
That's
that
what
guy
I'm
was
looking forward
killer
to.
for Man United.
No offense to McCarthy, but Benny there, but this is a bit of an upgrade.
I'm gonna tell you where Benny lost me. When I heard the story, I don't know if it's true, but when he said they said there was when Eric Ten Hag asked him what's going on with Sancho, he said Sancho can't apologize because he's from the streets, he's from the hood, and that's not what they do. And I was like, that could have been, he could have went to told Eric Ten Hag that's the reason why Sancho won't apologize. Come on, that's wild.
I don't think that was the quote, Casey.
Huh?
I don't think that was the quote.
Okay.
What was the quote then?
It wasn't that. He got so hung up on the streets part. We argued about this. He got so hung up on the streets part, he just forgot about the quote.
Yeah, Casey, too much on that.
I just know what I thought was how Benny brought it to him. Because Sancho's excuse was like, the streets won't let me say sorry or some bullshit like that.
I mean, to be fair, Sancho's a drama queen, but
Okay,
Hawk shouldn't have did what he did as well. So the two people could be wrong.
But we have quality. Our coaching staff has improved.
Yeah, and to Sean's point about these like Dutch guys about coaching, and I guess the forwards, right? About Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in to show Rasmus that I would equate it to Robin van Persie went to go help out at Feyenoord, and big shout out to Santi, right? He helped Santi score over 20 goals. Granted, it's the Eredivisie, but it goes to show you having an experienced coach, right? A forward coach that actually was there in that position to show a young guy where to be, what positions to be. That I'm just happy for that. Hopefully that'll help Rasmus be in the correct positions.
Not just Rasmus, Zersky too.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You need to work with Rashford.
Oh,
Rashford links again have come up. Have you guys seen these? PSG's.
He ain't going to. I would like to get rid of him. I think it's time for him to move on mentally. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, get him on to PSG. Get him on there.
PSG.
I want him to go to PSG for the simple fact of our conversation. I want to see those 40 goals a season. I want to see it. I want to see if he could get 40 goals in the French league because he can't.
He'll bang that league
That's
out.
what I was going to say. I want PSG to show up that he is just like who we were mentioning earlier.
I want to see it. Just for that alone, I want to see it.
Amani, my sister.
Exactly.
You understand ball. Now, but Mbappe's going crazy in this league on.
Right.
In every tournament he's in.
Scored 30 goals a season in that.
This is where I'm going to disagree with you, Casey.
There we go. Everybody loves to disagree.
Look, we can agree that Mbappe can score 40 in the Farmers League. I don't think Rashford is capable of 40 anywhere you play him. He can go to Saudi and he won't score 40. I'm sorry.
Well, you just think the effort's that bad?
He said Saudi.
I can see Big Mikey about to blow a lid right now.
I agree. He's trash. He's nowhere near. He can't lace this man's boots. It's crazy.
I'm not saying
you said something
the
very
only
important.
reason Rashford is so beloved and on these wages is because he's a local boy, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. You're right. You're right.
I love him. I love him, but I don't love his football. But I love the kid. I love Marcus Rashford, but that's true. And I don't see it in him to be close to none. Even last year, he wasn't close to being in Mbappe style.
He wasn't even close to himself or the previous self.
Previous year, not last year.
Yeah.
I know I'm a romantic, and I love Rashford. And I want it to happen, but he's so lazy out there. His body language is poor. He doesn't even put himself where a guy could pass him the ball, and he just walks, and I just don't understand that part. As some greats have said about him, even Rooney, he's got to fix this problem himself. Yeah, he knows the DNA. He grew up in it. He understands the Bucks. He knows out of anybody there, and he's not responding.
My problem with Rashford is that when he gets that ball in the final, in that final stage, is that you could see him figuring it out, like trying to think about it. And I feel like before he was reckless. He would just go at guys, step over, put nutmeg, something. He would go around guys. Now I feel like he's thinking about it so much. The pressure's on him, and then the defense has a chance to get in position and stop whatever he's doing. And it's like too much thinking is not enough just doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think he's a little mental. I think he brings a lot of off-field issues into the game. And I know whatever he goes through on social media is not acceptable. No. But he's got to find a way. And Ray Rooney said it the best. He's got
David Beckham went through worse and still figured
the worst ever. Whenever anyone talks about players going through abuse,
I don't think it's the worst ever. Sorry.
Dude,
not the worst.
They had him hanging.
No. Being called a monkey because you missed a penalty? No. Sorry, guys. Not the worst.
Someone says they're going to hang me or call me a monkey.
I agree with that, Mikey.
Mikey, I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not
crossing out my stuff.
Sorry, as a black man, I understand.
N-word on my mural? No.
I agree with you, Mikey, there. Like, I really do. I agree with you. Like, what they went through when they missed those penalties is fucking despicable. And I'm not trying, like, so don't twist this. I'm not trying to, like, say, oh, but Beckham went through it for 4 fucking years. Not a year, not a summer. 4 years that man went through the torture. And it wasn't until the next tournament that they finally forgave him. So I'm not trying to say, like, hey, what they did was, anywhere like kind of we discount that. But Beckham did go through it for 4 solid years. And that's why I do say it is kind of the worst, because it was for so long.
And the other thing too, Mike, is what these boys went through is a systemic issue, right? Versus where
that's why it's worse.
Well, but the pain of it is spread over every brown person who plays for this country. Versus what Beckham went through was targeted specifically at him, and then they went after his family too. I mean, I mean, it's 6 of what's the phrase? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're just bad, but
I think they're both bad for sure. But I just think that if I don't score for England, I'm a monkey, and if I do, I'm just a monkey that scored for England. That's it. There's nothing I could do there. Whereas, like, if he scores for England, he's English, and all is well. There's really nothing you can do. It's definitely worse, but in my eyes, because it's a systemic issue, I think that's way worse than it's a Euro and these guys are acting like it's halftime and they're acting like this. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that was pretty bad for sure. Rashford doesn't have a family like that for him to go after, so there's a difference. But I don't know. I'm never gonna unsee those things. With the Beckham thing, it's a little older, so I've had some time to deal with that for sure.
Yeah.
Sam says he hasn't been the same since the World Cup. Speaking of Rashford, it's a tough mental battle to go over. Sam says, and Sam says one more time, what about the back corners pushing play up and create chances? We haven't had much of that in consistent manner for a couple of seasons.
Talking
about our style of play. Now, I'm a tactics guy.
Are you on about a forward or are you on about our fullbacks?
Yeah.
So about the fullbacks.
Corners,
I don't know, man. Delo was probably player of the season for me this year. And then obviously Shaw's been injured, but we got that new kid coming through too. So I'm looking forward to seeing him this year.
And Malacia is supposed to be returning.
He said he's full go.
He's full go?
He's full go, baby. We don't need no left backs.
I'm a believer until I see him out the pitch in the flesh until I see him.
He said, you better not buy no left backs. I'm back.
We don't need to buy one. We got one in the wings.
Are we concerned like Shaw and Malacia as our left backs?
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think we need to move on from Shaw, to be honest. But
yes, he's the way.
But are we? It doesn't seem like any moves to move on.
I don't think they give him a new contract. I don't.
No.
Who, Shaw?
Yeah, I don't think they give him a new contract. No.
Hey, Sean, why Shaw with the England national team?
This is what's confusing me. They didn't take Harry Maguire because they said that he wasn't going to be fit until the knockout rounds. Yeah. So they take Luke Shaw, but to be fair, Luke Shaw was fit, then got re-injured in
training.
So I don't understand. I don't understand it either. You should have just took Harry Maguire at this point. But I don't know. And to be fair, like as shit as he's been all season, they should have took fucking Rashford too, because Foden is terrible on the left side for England. Like at least he could have came on and dragged another player over to him, and Saka has somebody else instead of being double marked the entire game. Like, do you not see the first game where Harry Kane was about to score a goal and Foden ran into the back of him? Get on the fucking back post. Sancho, I don't know. England's is Southgate. What you expect?
I'm sorry I brought that up.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
Yeah. I might not be on next. I might not be on next Tuesday if England loses.
Oh my god! You gotta be on.
It's such a big topic, the 3 lines, because this on paper, this team is crazy.
Yeah, but
this is their game. This is their game, and the fact they've gone this long without winning, it is insane. What other game do you know that the creators of it, right? The creators of it haven't won it at the major stage in 60 years.
Golf.
Baseball.
What other is it golf?
Hockey. Golf.
Oh, hockey's real. Hockey's real.
Is it hockey? Who created hockey?
Canada.
Canada. They haven't won it.
I was going to say baseball. You hit it with baseball.
Yeah.
So Canada hasn't won a hockey
tournament since the 90s, I believe. 92, I think. The last
this
time.
is not 60 years, Sean. This is 60 years. Who hasn't won it? You won it once in its inception. That's crazy.
And
This guy said,
and Mikey, they want it so bad.
So bad. It's not even the World Cup. This is the half of World Cup.
yeah, this is the Europe.
But Southgate is destroying it.
Oh man,
He has to go. Win, lose, or draw. He can win it this year. He has to go either way.
You guys need to get
That's
clout.
up. I don't think it's getting
have to
renewed.
do with his changes. He does it way too late too, and it's like,
Nothing
gotta
makes
react.
sense.
was it one of his quotes that he didn't think he was going to lose, something like that?
I think one of his quotes was, "We haven't got a natural replacement for Calvin fucking Phillips."
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
a bunch of people with that.
Yeah, I'm
we
sorry. Manu not sitting on the bench?
We got 2.5 minutes left, so
2.5 minutes. Right before you guys then we get off. So I know we talked about the 3 guys, right, that we might be signing. Besides them, do you guys see United signing anyone else? Or what other need we need plugged in?
No, I don't. I
I
think
don't
we might
see
get
anybody.
I think we might get a late one, and the interview with Bloomberg is going to what he said in the Bloomberg. Like, we're not going to be able to fix all the positions in the first year. I think we're going to start to see shit in January now for the first time, I think. But I think those 3 players, I think we might get some young players in, maybe backups. But those are the 3 players I see.
I think there's going to be about 3 academy kids to be involved.
I just don't think we have the money without selling Sancho and Greenwood to be able to buy anybody else.
Yeah. That's my only issue with signing all these, people in these positions is that United fans are going to get carried away and expect everything to be fixed, and that we're going to win the treble again next season. That's my only thing. Like a lot of people don't understand that this is going to take time.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
Maybe
this is this is a big if. And I believe it can happen because we are getting a decent backroom staff now with the medical. I know we got rid of the last lot. If we can stay relatively healthy, I think we finish top 4 next year.
Whoa.
Oh.
I feel it. No, I feel it.
I'm not touching that. I already have to wear a Chelsea jersey next season. So
Can you imagine, Monty? Listen, you know what's going to happen to him?
I'm not going to the pub next season. I have a baby to take care of.
Get it over
Take
with.
the baby with you. You got to treat that baby right, man. Take it
Absolutely not. Not down there with those hooligans.
Just do it early.
Noise canceling headphones, man. Amazon.
Go early,
Negative.
knock it out, get it out the way, get a couple flicks, pay the debt, and then enjoy the rest of the season.
I won't be there.
You
You
boys
gotta take a
should
big picture, though.
Yeah, you got to take a fit picture.
You guys.
you lost the bet. You got to give him at least a picture, and I want to see it.
I won't be there, so there'll be nothing to see. But hey, good luck to you guys next season.
Anything else you guys want to plug out there or mention before we head out?
What about Mikey? What about show? You want to put that out?
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah.
Are we set on Thursday?
We're gonna set up Thursday. I think next week we should do the show.
All right, yeah. So we got our show. We're gonna do what is it? 8. That's 8 o'clock. Thursday, 8 p.m. Thursday. That's Eastern. So what's that? 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, that's 5. You guys could in your traffic, you could be listening. You're in traffic for half your lives anyway down over there. So why not turn on me and Sean and hear some real ball talk? You know what I'm saying? It's our new show, United Fan Zone, and I just finished the intro. You guys could look at it in the chat, and I can't wait to get it started. We're gonna have some real Sports Center without the douchery of ESPN.
That's hot.
Nice. That's nice. That's cool. It's cool.
Been a fun show. We'd like to thank Amani for coming on, the chairperson of MULA. She will be
You're not
back
the prez anymore? I thought you were the prez.
Cheese likes to mention the
I
prez.
just,
The
I
prez.
just do stuff.
You're
whatever
my
you want.
prez. You'll always be my prez.
Oh, we went over a minute.
But exciting stuff.
Thank
exciting
you,
stuff
Sean.
coming.
Thank you.
everyone.
Great show, everybody. We gotta
Fred,
leave.
Mike, Sean, good talking to you guys.
Germ, thank you.
All
For
right.
sure.
Y'all have a good week.
You too.
You are listening to Those Casual Reds with Casey Gale, Jeremy Sanchez, and Mikey Douglas, only on LA Talk Radio.